Welcome back to City Spin, everybody, where we are in the best time of the year. Postseason softball doesn't get any better than this. And we are in the midst of the Big Ten tournament. And let me catch you up because it has been a crazy first 2 days already. The parity that we have been talking about this conference has shined through within the first few matchups. Yesterday, Maryland gave us some bonus softball as Courtney Weiss pretty much said, hop on my back to the rest of her team, take you to the promised land, because she threw a complete game, went 9 innings, only giving up 1 run as the Terps defeated Penn State, led by freshman Big Ten Player of the Year Bridget Nemeth, who ended up giving up 3 runs. Penn State advanced and will play later tonight. And they're going to face Michigan, who the Wolverines walked away with the highest amount of first-team All-Big Ten players. They had 4: Lauren Durkowski, Maddie Erickson, Ellie Sealer, and Kiki Thole. And then Wisconsin also won in extra innings yesterday, and they will face Rutgers. But everything has been thrown out of the window, especially today. It doesn't matter how teams did earlier in the regular season in the conference battles, because some new faces are stepping up. And we can't talk Big Ten softball without talking about Indiana, as we are so lucky to have on Brianna Copeland and Alex Cooper, who just got done in a battle back and forth. They faced Northwestern. You guys knocked off the reigning Big Ten champions. Tell me, it's only been a few hours. How are you feeling after this?
Awesome. I mean, after last year and coming up short in the Big Ten championship, I mean, it's awesome to feel that just not like revenge, but like just another shot. And after playing a 3-game series against them and taking one away, it felt great to take away another game.
I'm super pumped. It's always really fun to take down number 1. So
Bree, you mentioned last season. How much did that really stick with you and motivate you in this offseason? Because your team was so close, a run away, and that's just propelled you into how dominant you've been this season.
I mean, it was down to the 7th inning last year, and I haven't forgot about it. I mean, I had dreams about it. I mean, it sucked being so close and then get like not making it. And I just wanted to make sure that this year I made something happen. So I mean, I've been happy with how I've been performing lately and how I've got the job done these past 2 days.
You talk about being so close, and I want to kind of go back to that moment in the 7th inning. There's 2 outs. Candace Robinson hits a little pop up. You nearly catch it, and you fall. It's a hard play to make as a pitcher, right? You just get done with your arm circle. You're running all the way to foul territory, but I could see the frustration on you, how badly you wanted it. Your team's kind of letting you collect yourself. How mentally do you go and then deliver another really good pitch against one of the best hitters, frankly, in the conference?
I was really upset with myself. I mean, I wouldn't personally say that was a hard play for me in my sense. I lost it in the sun, and I was very upset that I didn't shield the sun, although I hadn't seen the sun all day because of the rain. So it just sucked that the ball went through there. But I just mentally was just like, I know she's one of their best hitters. I can't let her beat me, but I can't walk her also because Nader's right behind her. Nader had a home run off me her last at bat, and I just wanted to go straight at Kansas at that time, and it worked in my favor, and I'm so glad.
And Alex, for you, this has to be so surreal. Your first season playing college softball, and well, Bree has already made her face and her name well known around the conference. You are doing so already, holding it down at third base, but also you can come in the circle when your team needs you, which just really speaks to your athleticism. How much has this year just taught you?
it's definitely taught me a lot about kind of just softball's a game of failure, and you're not always going to perform. And I'm on a team that I don't always have to perform because we're so good up and down the lineup that I can just kind of relax and not always be in my head. So mentally, I've grown a lot, and I think that's just put me in a better position on the field, and I've started performing better. And yeah.
You talk about your performance. It was stellar today as well. You came up with a huge hit, 2 RBIs. You talk about the mental side of the game. What are you saying to yourself in those moments when you know that this at bat could really be the difference maker?
Stay confident. I always just tell myself to stay confident, be calm, and do what you can do.
So that's a lot easier said than done, staying confident. Where do you feel like you really build this confidence? Is it internally? Is it from the women besides you?
I mean, our team is so loving and everyone believes in everyone like more than more than you can imagine. And um, you also like gain confidence from like just past performance and well preparation.
Yeah.
And that's something that our coach always tells us. And so just yeah.
I mean, you guys finish each other's sentences. I love it. Talk about the team chemistry. I think one thing I noticed when, I played against you guys, but specifically now and watching your games, calling them, every time you guys are having a timeout, it's really such I want to say loving atmosphere. Your arms around each other. You can tell how close you are. Talk to me about this team culture.
Oh, it's awesome. I mean, anytime there's a timeout, I know that I can look my coaches in the eye and tell them the truth that I have, whether it's negative or positive, and they'll just be there to like back me up and just be like a mom to me and just tell me it's all right and you got this. I mean, I will say the other day I had a little time out with Coach Bell, one of our pitching coaches, and she was like, I was like, my drop ball's gone. Like, I don't have it anymore. And she's like, it's not gone. I want you to look at me right now and tell me it's not gone. And her just having me and just taking me under her wing and telling me that everything's going to be all right just really helps me. And it's just like having a mother there, 3 mothers, 4 mothers. I mean, all the time. It's awesome.
I mean, we're all super close. We all really love softball and we all really want to win. And that's really all you need in a team is just girls who love each other and want to win and want the same thing. And that's what we have.
It's amazing how far team chemistry can really take a team. And Bree, you mentioned, your moms. I know you have your actual mother in the stands who gets a lot of TV love. Talk to me about just that relationship. You guys are obviously, from the South, and she just comes, I swear, to every single game and is really your biggest cheerleader.
Oh, it's awesome having her. I mean, she's actually in our hotel, which is ironic because she had no idea where we were staying, obviously for seating. So it just so happens that she's in our hotels. It's just awesome having my mom at every single game. I mean, she could have anything for me. It's there in my hands. She beats us to the field every single day. I mean, we had to be there at like 9, and she was there at like 7:30. I mean, she's our biggest fan and most definitely my biggest fan. So it's awesome to have my biggest fan around with me all the time.
That is true commitment. I mean, we already as players would get to the field hours before, but to have a fan, I don't even know how she gets in that early. But I mean, props to her. That is truly amazing. You talked about Coach Bell, who is your pitching coach at Indiana. And when I talked to Coach Stan earlier this week, she mentioned how when you came into college, you loved defense and you loved hitting. Pitching, maybe not as much, but Coach Bell has really brought some of that love out. Where would you say you're at now with pitching and because of that relationship?
Yeah, my freshman year, I really didn't want the game ball ever. I was so afraid of making mistakes and just the pressure would just crumble me. But this year and the past year, I've been getting closer with Coach Bell and just sitting and just physically talking with her, and that just physically has made our like bond stronger and helped me just get a love for pitching again. And I want the game ball just about all the time now. But I mean, just that relationship just helps me just know like just understand how much it means to her, and it means that much more to me. So pitching, I've grown a love for pitching in the past 2 years, yes, because of her.
I mean, that's so real when you talk about being a pitcher is very vulnerable because, you get all the credit on a win, but you also really shoulder a lot on the losses. And I love how honest you were that you were scared to get the game ball. Where did that switch come from where all of a sudden there was that confidence and you're saying, put me in?
Like our coach says, it's past success and preparation. I prepared over countless hours in the fall or the summer of my oh, no. I'm getting a call right now. That's hilarious.
There we go. We're back.
Of my summer after my freshman year was, I mean, all I could ever ask for. And then, I mean, my sophomore year, I didn't even really know what was happening and ended up with a award I could never think of on All American. And just my preparation, it just gave me that confidence to get back in the circle and just pitch the ball.
Take me back to that moment of being named an All-American. What
I'm
was your
sitting in
reaction?
I'm literally at my high school coach's house, just just going over the season with her, just telling her how awesome it was to just go to postseason for the first time, just experience all that and play Tennessee and all that. And I get a call from Coach Stanton, and I'm like, well, what is she gonna tell me now? Like, I need to come up here and do something for her, and I'm like 7 hours away. It's just like, dude, you can't tell anybody because it comes out tomorrow, but you're an All-American. And I'm like, what? No, no shot. I thought she was messing with me. It was an awesome feeling.
I want to know your mom's reaction when you went home or called her to tell her.
She was just like, okay. I don't think she knew like the extent of it, but she was like, well, that's good. That's awesome.
I love it. Alex, for you having teammates like Bree and so many others leading the way, what is it like to be around them and to really learn from them?
Well, I have two great All-Americans as two of my biggest leaders. I mean, me and Bree spent a lot of time together early on, just like in practice, having to do pitching and defense and hitting all at the same time. And so being with Bree has taught me a lot. And then Taylor Minnick has also kind of taken me under her wing and talked to me about hitting a lot. We talk after all of her at bats and kind of just like what we're seeing. And I think that's just amazing to have two great leaders and to just really help me in my first year. It's really fun.
I mean, you both are doing it all, and that's frankly something that you normally don't see. To see a pitcher who's even playing two ways is incredible, but you guys are doing it three ways. How do you have time for that? First of all, is my first question. But really, are you able to just like kind of manage your emotions? Is it freeing that like when things maybe aren't working at the plate, you can go on the field and make a great play, vice versa?
Oh yeah, practices were definitely interesting when I first came. I don't think they really ever had like a pitcher who played actually and like hit a lot. So practices were just jumbled. I'd be a chicken with my head cut off, running back and forth to hitting, the defense, the bullpen. I mean, just everything. But we've gotten a schedule down that works pretty well these past 2 3 years, and I mean, it's pretty fun. It's not bad.
Yeah, I think it's super fun. It's definitely hard sometimes, like in practice, if you have like a really bad hitting session and then you have to go straight into pitching, you kind of just have to like separate your emotions and like you can't bring your hitting emotions into your pitching emotions or your pitching emotions and your defense emotions and kind of just separating that and having like a fluid mindset about that.
Yeah, but it's awesome being a
Yeah.
pitcher that hits because I mean I remember a Purdue series last year. I gave up a home run or a few runs, and I know that I could go up to the plate and just help my team out and help myself out. So it's pretty awesome.
What is the advantage like being a hitting pitcher? I mean, you understand the game being a pitcher and how to set up batters, and then you're in the box. Do you feel like you're almost predicting what a pitcher is going to do against you?
Yes, most of the time, yes.
Yeah.
But some pitching coaches do have me beat. I will say their experience. I mean, sometimes I'm pretty predictable with what I can know what's coming at my way, but sometimes they get me.
Bree or Alex, we talked about what Bree's favorite was and kind of really gaining that love for pitching. I want to know, is there a side of the game that you absolutely love?
Yeah. I think it's pretty like out there, but I love defense and I'm kind of a defensive specialist. But that's yeah. I love defense and I love just being able to make plays. But I also really love hitting and I also love pitching sometimes. But I just love softball. But defense is definitely probably on top. So
I mean, your web gems are absolutely amazing. I think about so much of how you're able to cover down the line. You know, you're from Indiana. What does it mean for you to be able to represent your home state?
it's huge and during my recruiting process I like never really thought about it that way, but stepping on campus and being with a coaching staff that truly loves you and truly values like who you are is something that like I couldn't ask for enough and I love representing Indiana. And it's really special. It's also really special like having my family be able to come to a lot of stuff. So that was like a really big thing for me as well. And just like being able to represent Indiana is really awesome.
You've already broken down so many ceilings within your first year. when you kind of look forward to what these next three could look like, how big do you envision them being?
I don't know. I mean, I know I'm always going to put my best foot forward, and if that takes me to the World Series, it takes me to the World Series, and that's always my dream. But if it doesn't, it doesn't, and I'm for top and let alone what. So
I mean, why not shoot for the Women's College World Series? That's the best part about this tournament is that you go all the way. You set yourself up to being an NCAA regional. If we look specifically, your guys' next opponent is Nebraska. I know you did not face them this season. Probably haven't had a lot of time to prepare as well, but kind of your initial thoughts about the matchup.
It's a pretty good matchup. It's two great offenses against each other. I mean, I know that our pitching coaches and coaches are going to scout them well and give us some things that we need to look at tonight, and definitely watch their pitchers more since we did not play them this season. But it should be a pretty good matchup.
I'm excited to play a team we haven't played before. So, I mean, not before, like, obviously they played them last year, but I'm excited to play a team that we haven't seen this season and kind of just get a different look.
Bree, when I look at how many innings you've pitched, my goodness, I think it's been 29 since Friday. First of all, is your arm still attached, and how are you still finding ways to kind of reinvent yourself and just show these hitters so many different looks?
Well, developing was one of the things for me, but my arm is great, actually. I'm probably great. I mean, really what bothers me is my legs, which is very odd, but I guess I use most of my legs when I pitch, but just getting hitters off balance with my off speed and my changeup has really been a great success for me lately. And just keeping my ball down and producing ground balls has been great.
I mean, when watching you pitch, it doesn't surprise me because you truly do get your legs into it. And I know that's something that Coach Shannon talked a lot about, even with you hitting every once in a while, trying to find runners or not steal you as much, just to be able to save your legs because you are an athlete that really does it all. When we look at this Big Ten tournament and I say, why not you guys to be able to win it? How much are you guys betting on yourselves and believing in yourselves?
Oh, we bet on ourselves the whole entire time. We knew if we took this game today, we knew that we could get to the championship game. I mean, we saw what we did against them in the series last weekend. So we said there's obviously a chance we could beat them. So why not go all the way? So we've been thinking that for the past week.
Coach has always been telling us that the pressure's not on us, and we're not. How do I say this? We're not predicted to win, so there's no pressure on us, and we just go out and play our best ball, and I would put all my money on us. So
you guys are a team that everybody really counted on to be here at the end of the Big Ten tournament. I know it's been a little bit of an up and down throughout the regular season, but you guys are putting together some of your best softball yet. Do you feel like the lessons early on in regular season are really paying off in what you've learned and how you've grown?
Oh, for sure. I mean, the countless bullpens and the countless scouting and just sitting and just analyzing my swing and analyze the pitchers to get my best sequence and hope that our plan goes into our fruition and we execute it very well. I mean, it's been awesome to just see everything be put into play.
Yeah, kind of just like settling in and not letting the first 2 weekends define who we are and just playing ball.
When you talk about defining who you are, kind of wrapping things up, I want to ask, when I say what is Indiana softball, how would you describe it to somebody, specifically this team?
I describe it as a team that won't give up. I mean, we know what we're made of. We know the first 2 weekends were not what we were, and we just know that there's more. There's more in us. I'd say that's what we are. There's more to Indiana softball.
I think we're resilient. Coach always says that we're really resilient, and I think that is something that's really true. We don't give up, and we've had a lot of come behind wins, and I'm really excited to see what is next.
Well, I'm excited to watch you guys. And before letting you go, Alex, I have to ask you, how often are you getting the call her daddy jokes to Alex Cooper? I mean, we talked about it all the time of the broadcast. But I want to know if you're hearing it.
Well, actually, I haven't heard it a lot, but last weekend, where were we last week? Oh, we were in Northwestern. Me and my parents were at dinner, and I was in my uniform, and there was a couple guys who like asked me what my name was, and I said Alex Cooper, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, you're Alex Cooper, like the girl that has the podcast." I was like, "No," but it doesn't happen that often.
I feel like your team has to get a cheer going. Like, I feel like that's something you need to be able to flex.
We'll figure something out.
I'll have to talk about that.
Well, Bree and Alex, I cannot thank you both enough for coming on City Spin Softball America. It's been so much fun watching your team grow, and you guys will be back at it tomorrow competing. So everybody who tuned in can look forward to watching you guys play.
Thank you.
Thank you all for tuning in, and we will be back next week where I will wrap up the Big Ten tournament. From myself, Supple America, Brianna Copeland, and Alex Cooper, have a great rest of your night. Plenty of good softball to watch.